welcome to another edition of the Burrow podcast. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined up here on the Gold Coast. Just after the game here, we're out in the balcony here with my loyal co-host, Michael. Mick, how you doing after that win?
Oh, it's wonderful, Like, it's been a while since we got a win. So, yeah, it's always good after a win. The feeling's much better.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're here. We got the waves going in the background here on Surface Paradise in the apartment with Mick, myself, and my partner Paddy. We all come up for the weekend. We flew up yesterday, didn't we? Around lunchtime on the Saturday, and fly back early tomorrow morning to get back with the 2 points packed in our bags. Finally,
Our first, interstate trip where we've actually won this year. So
yeah. Well, not only that, it ends the 9-game losing streak as well, doesn't it?
it does. And, yeah, it's always good to end those kind of things. It's not something you really want to be, making a record of.
Yeah, well, they didn't do it the easy way, did they? Pulled out to an 8-point lead there, and it was looking good for a while there. But a couple of errors, probably a bit of inexperience, especially with Bailey Bentley and Harpay, where he tried to get on the outside and was taken to the touch. They scored not long over to close the gap to just 2 points, but a few more errors. There was another one, Tass did a poor pass to Bentley Harpay. A couple of times I felt we should have held down, and then right there to make us even more nervous, Brandon Smith trying to do the quick play of the ball. I'm not going to blame him for that. He was awesome for us, but those sort of things just made us hold on to the edge of our seat just that little bit longer, didn't they?
It does, but it goes to, the fact that we are very, sort of, what do you call them? Haven't had much experience, A lot of the players have only played a handful of games. And, some of the guys like Lockie Hubner and that, I think they've, it's been a long season for them. They wouldn't have been expecting to play as many minutes.
Well, the score ended up being 20 points to 18, and we extend our winning streak against the Titans. I think 2016 was the last time we lost to them, wasn't it? And that was in Perth, where we went down by 1 point to them. And up here at Seabus, it's been 2009, so we're keeping a good long running streak against the Titans going.
Yeah, and let's continue to do so. It's great, and as I say, it's always better a win. You always want to win, obviously.
I just want to say, how good is this view? We've got all the buildings there in the background. We're out on the balcony here. We thought we'd try something different there. It's rain's stopped now. There was a bit of rain after the game. Thankfully, during the game, it was quite dry. No rain there at all. So
yeah, it was a very good weather. Quite warm, and compared to what we've had in Sydney lately, and yeah, we had this little bit of rain after the game, but not too much. And yeah, it's been a great trip away as always.
Well, it's always made better when you win. As I said, it's been a weird feeling. I get that win and getting nervous even at the end. Even when we got the ball back, it was a Tass that made the tackle at the end. That put them out in the touch. He made a couple of try savers there where he put them in the touch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Tass. He managed to just drag him into touch, so that was quite good. I wasn't sure whether he might have been penalised. That's just being South, I guess, South supporter.
Yeah, well, speaking of penalised, there was a bit of controversy there at the end where the Titans claimed they should have got a penalty, and maybe it was a little bit high. It was very soft, though, and you wouldn't want a game decided by that. But, I mean, we see about 10 tackles a game like that. Tackles like that they go unnoticed, and no one bats an eyelid. But because it's at the end of the game, they want to complain. I mean, you can look at it there. Their first try was off a blatant forward pass. Let go. We get pinged for a forward pass not long after that. They see that. And so I always say swings and roundabouts. We got hit high a few times, exactly like that. Was it Ashton Ward that got hit high at one stage, similar to that, but wasn't penalised?
Yeah, he did. And, there's been a few, like Joe Arrow got, hit in the...
Yeah.
We did get a penalty.
Yeah, because he had to stay down to get that. I mean, This ref on field misses a lot of stuff, Todd Smith, and I mean for both sides. So as I say, it is swings and roundabouts, and when you lose, it's more you're going to complain more, aren't you? Because kind of trying to take away from why you did lose, and I mean they had more ball than us. They ran more than us. They had their runs per set. Their run meters per set was 10 meters more than us. So they dominated all those facets of the game. It was very close in possession. I think it was 51% to them, but they had more errors. We made more missed tackles, and I think they had one more line break than us. So there's a lot of things there that they can complain about, but they also got to look at what caused them to concede so many points.
Well, that's very true, but I think that's, something that's been happening for them, like all year. They can score points, but yeah, they haven't been able to defend too well. So luckily, I thought we were pretty good at defending. We saved a few tries there.
Well, I'm going to say it looked ominous early on, where our defence, I thought it looked on and looked off, and they were making a lot of breaks. And Brandon Smith came on, and he made a huge difference in the middle there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, as soon as he came on, I think, like, our go forward was much better. And, and he has that threat too out of dummy half where he can kick, which puts the opposition, into two minds and that. So, yeah, I think he was very good once he came on.
Well, last week we were without 12 of our best 17. This week it was 10, but we had a very important addition. We spoke about Brandon Smith, but very important addition in Lattrell Mitchell.
Oh, having Lattrell in the side just lifts everybody. Like, he's just a great player, and, he created a lot of chances for us today. And, he even saved a couple of tries as well. So, yeah, it was very handy having him back.
Well, he was playing centre, and a lot of people have been screaming for this for a while, and I thought he did very well. I thought Jai played well enough there, but I still think when we play the tougher sides, he's going to need to be to play fullback. But for now, I've got no problem with him staying in the centres there. He was very involved, saved 2 tries, set up 2 tries, got a line break. Then he probably should have had a third try assist where he put Jamie Humphries away. But just the speed of those Titans players, they can run you down quite quickly.
Yeah, they've got a lot of speed in the outside backs. But, yeah, look, for me, right now, for the team, Lattrell, probably has to stay in centre, because, like, with all our injuries, Jai, fits in at the fullback spot. So, yeah, but going forward, I'm with you. Like, Lattrell just creates so much more chances, and even that try to Alex, the first one, I don't think he gets that kind of space if it's not Lattrell.
Yeah, you could be right there. And I got to say the young kid Ashton Ward, I think we're starting to see a few of the things that he's capable of in attack, where his work in the lead up to the Bailey Bentley half-a try, it was great. Digging into the line the way he did, he got the shape right, and Isaiah Tass was just as good with the pass that he did to put Bailey Bentley half-a out. Later in the game, he threw a beautiful long cutout pass to Bailey Bentley half-a, but I thought, again, inexperience from BBH there, where he probably should have got a little bit lower or whatever, or come in rather than going. He messed it up and gave away a 7 tackle set. Those sort of things can hurt, but defensively, you spoke before, defensively, that second half I thought we were really on defensively, and they're a threat everywhere. They got AJ Brimson, you've got Jaden Campbell, and who could forget that try saver? Oh, Lattrell.
Amazing, that try saver. We were thinking, oh no, here we go, and then all of a sudden Lattrell just come from nowhere and knocked the ball out. So that was great. And with Ashton, yeah, I think we've said it before, his attack I think he offers a fair bit actually in attack. Obviously, he's going to get, in defence, he's going to struggle a little bit, with the size of him. But there's one thing for sure: he always puts his body on the line.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Cody today before the game, and he said he's very hopeful of being back next week. Whether it is, that'll be seen. We'll find out on Tuesday whether he's named or not. But I mean, even if Cody gets named and he gets dropped back to reserve grade, he's got this valuable experience that he's picked up in these 3 games, and he can go back to New South Wales Cup, and which I believe they had a very close loss. They lost that in the last 2 minutes today against the Roosters, but he can bring his experience from first grade back there and know what he needs to learn a bit more of.
Yeah, and I think that goes for a lot of the younger players. That's one thing about all the injuries we've had. A lot of these players have got a lot more experience than what they would have been expecting at the start of the year, which augurs well for next year, where they're going to be much more, and they know what to work on when they go back to the lower grades.
You mentioned a very special guy that's doing very special things at the moment, and we've seen 208 and 209. That's Alex Johnston.
Yeah, well, it's only a matter of time before he breaks the record. And, yeah, hopefully it's this year, but who knows? Obviously having Cody and Lattrell in there is going to help that stat. But he just knows where to be, He's very rarely out of position when it comes to...
Well, you look at that flick pass by Lattrell. He knew exactly where to be for that. And he still had to do work after that. But what I love about AJ is it's his ability, and this is something that Bailey Bentley-Harpe could learn from. Know when you can't beat them, know when you can. And that's something that AJ does better than anyone else. He knew that he wasn't going to get to the line by running straight. He stepped back in and just sent a clear passage and another score. Not only scored, but he brought it in. And those are the sort of things that just makes AJ. And he is the best finisher in the game. We see a lot of great finishers at whatever they can contort themselves, but no one can position themselves better than what AJ can. And that's the reason why he is now only 4 tries away from breaking that record. 3 tries from equaling it.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Like, he just reads the play so well, and he, like I say, he's always in position to take advantage of the work from the guys inside, and they have every confidence that, they put the ball out there, AJ's going to be there. And, yeah, in that try, he still had work to do once he took the ball, and, it was great to see. Like, it's certainly because it was right in front of us. So.
Yeah, it was in the corner where we were. Kick diffusal's been an issue in the last few weeks. We especially against Cronulla, we had a lot of problems with the kick diffusal. This week I thought it was spot on.
Yeah, look, it's definitely the best we've had this year. Probably best we've had in the last couple of years, really. Like Lattrell came through and took that ball, like attacking wise, And
I'm not talking defensive, and there was one that he took a specky there. Alex Johnson took a couple of good ones. Jai Gray, where it looked like Brimson was going to get him, and how small he is, his ability to get there and get in position to get on top of those taller guys that can't be underestimated.
Oh, absolutely. Like, he's always been pretty good under the high ball, actually. He very rarely drops one, so that's always a good thing. But, yeah, I don't understand sometimes, but, when we're attacking kicks, but yeah, in the defence, I think they were very good today.
I've got to go into some of the not necessarily decisions, but probably non-decisions. There was 3 in particular I want to point out. There was the first one where the ref had no idea. He let the clock run out on the scrum, which is, and the Gold Coast weren't ready for it. And I don't know what happened at home because you got to remember we were at the game, so we don't hear what he's saying or hear. You guys may have more of an idea at home, but the clock run down. Gold Coast weren't ready there, and he just kind of let it go instead of giving us a penalty. Then there was another where I have to say they're on top of our player. It was a dominant tackle, no doubt. It's a dominant tackle, and you get it a bit longer. But they were on for about 6 or 7 seconds, just laying on top of him. Didn't even look to get up. And to me, that should be a penalty. Those sort of things should be a penalty. But the one that I really want to point out is players that are standing in the ruck. Now, our dummy half went to pass it, but they couldn't pass it. So they had to kind of go around and slow the play. To me, that's ruck interference. If you're standing there in where he's going to pass it, because I think it was Pete Mamazelos. It may have been Brent Smith, but I think it was Pete Mamazelos. And he was smart enough not to pass it into him. But how did he pass it into him? He gets penalised. And this is how stupid the game keeps shooting itself in the foot. That guy made no attempt to get out of the way. As soon as he had to go move and not be able to do that, that should be a penalty to the attacking side. If you're going to penalise them for not being able to, if they pass into him, you go, well, that's a penalty because you passed right into him, then surely that's got to be a penalty as well.
Oh, definitely. Like, we're at the game, obviously, and, we could see it, like, straight away. The guy was basically right in the passing lane, and, it should have been a penalty, but as we said, this guy misses a lot of things that happen in the game. But, it is what it is. Like, obviously, we got the win, so that's sort of, null and void.
What's
A bit, but it's still disappointing when, so many mistakes like that happen.
Yeah, we finally get the ball back right at the end of the game where we got them down and we get the ball back. Look at the clock and see there's less than 30 seconds to go. Are you thinking Paul Stringer against the Broncos?
Yeah, well, it certainly never entered me mind that we'd won it just yet. But I mean, I was not at that game, but I do remember it very well. What was it? Something like 8 seconds to go.
Yeah,
And then
what was it 8 seconds ago? Yeah, when Gordon tell us. I've spoken about that recently on the podcast. That game was one of the memorable games, not for the right reasons, but it'll always stick in my memory. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'll just watch it and just get up, be smart here. But we got the win, and I'm really, like all us fans, we're going to enjoy it. It's been a long time since we've had it. And it's funny, I turned around and I said, the Spoon Bowl. A game when you win, you don't actually win. So we didn't win the Spoon Bowl, which is a good thing.
It is. It's not something you really want to be winning, but look, this is this is the first time that we've been able to do one of these after a win for a long time. Since the Tigers. So obviously we're a lot more upbeat today.
Yeah, well, it's great. As I said, we've got what's the time now? It's just after 9 o'clock here on the Surface Paradise, and we've got an 8 o'clock flight tomorrow morning, so there's going to be no sleep there. But how do you feel after a win? Do you find it harder to sleep after a win or after a loss?
Oh, definitely after a win, because you're so hyped up. You just want to keep celebrating. So I find it much easier to sleep after a loss than a win. But both ways, it's still pretty hard, because you just keep thinking about the game, or I do anyway.
Well, that was our second day game win of the year. The only other one was so it's funny because we won against the Dragons in the day game by 1 point. This one we won by 2 points, but we haven't really gone too well in the day games this year.
Yeah, it's strange that. Like, I can't put anything, put it down to anything in particular. Like, I think we like attacking plays and that, so the day game should help in that regard.
Or maybe it could be a thing with the speed of the forwards that the night dew on the ground maybe slows them down that bit, which helps us. So it could be that. But
definitely there could be any number of reasons, but I couldn't put it down to anything in particular.
And what did you make of the crowd?
Oh, look, it's always good going to Seabus Stadium. I think we always outnumber them, so it's almost like another home game. And we've said that before on this podcast. So, it's all like there's a lot of South support up here, and yeah, in particular that game.
Well, they call Todd Smith hometown Todd. Maybe it was a bit confusing. No, who the home team was hearing all the chants there. But a shout out to all you Queensland crew. The job that you do when we're up here and getting behind the boys. They notice it. We notice it. It's awesome to hear, and especially here on the Gold Coast, you guys really do make it feel like a home game for the boys. And hats off to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Having that support when we come up here and it's always great to meet up with them again, and yeah, in particular on the Gold Coast because we've had such success here.
Well, I was spoken a bit before about the forwards. What did you make of the forwards today?
Oh look, I think like most games, they've tried hard and that, but they've been out muscled a lot, which is understandable especially with the injuries and that. But we're very undersized as a forward pack, but they always give their best.
We had a few changes to the side that was named. We expected a few changes. We knew early on that Lattrell was playing. We knew as late as from Thursday that Lattrell was in, and we also knew Ewan Aiken was out. So as I said before, we're missing 10 of our regular starters. But what we had was Lattrell had to move to the centre. We had Calistunting go back to the edge, and I thought again another great game from him.
Oh yeah, I think he's been one of our best players all year. Like
Consistently, yes.
he's becoming very consistent, and it doesn't matter where you put him. He always puts in, and when he filled in at centre, I was very surprised how well he went. Yeah, he's becoming a very good player.
Yeah. Well, he created the break for Lattrell. He got through and he passed Lattrell. Lattrell got through, passed Danny, he got tackled. I think off the back of that, we got the penalty, which really was the difference in the game. That penalty just before half time to go up by 2. So it was a huge play in the game, in the context of the game, wasn't it?
It certainly was, yeah. Like you say, tell us, his work earlier in that set really helped us, get the momentum and get them on the back foot.
I said before about this victory and seeing the boys finally get to sing that victory song. It's great for guys like Ashton Ward and Tommy Fletcher that's their first time singing that song at NRL level. They got to experience that. That's a great feeling. But the guy that I really want to tip my hat to that deserved it more than most was Jai Arrow. He's been showing how much this has been hurting him. And whilst I don't want to see him hurting, I love the fact that how much he's showing how much it does hurt him and that he's going to keep fighting to get those wins.
Oh yeah, that's Jai Arrow in a nutshell, isn't it? Like he just keeps putting his body on the line. He's playing injured, but never shirks any of the hard stuff. And yeah, to get a win for him is, great because, as you say, he always he always looks like he hates the losses and that, and you see it in his face and that. So it's good to see him get a win.
Yeah, I was really worried in the first half. We had Ashton Ward, Jacob Host, Zaya Tass, and Bailey Bentley Harpe all on defending one side, and there was a bit of a weakness there. They got through a couple of times. They did score a soft try as well through for Ashton Ward. I thought the second half they really understood each other's role and did a lot better in that second half.
Yeah, and I think too, like, you know, when Brandon come on, I think he helped on
Yeah.
that side. Like, I think he was defending on that side.
I think he was defending. He was playing hooker, so he did a lot of defending in the middle, which also helped because he's defence in the middle. He's runs as well. He's worked out dummy half, and even Pitt Manzelis, that second stint of his runs from dummy half are really good. And he got one guy offside. Like, it was a blatant offside. The ref refused to call it, and you just and he did great work to ping him to do it, but it just didn't get it. You've seen the guys putting their hands up in the air, but for some reason you want to call it. But in the end, like, just love seeing. And I was critical of them selecting Havili when we had both Brandon Smith and Pete Lamazels, but obviously Wayne had in mind what he was going to do anyway, and he started with Pete and had Brandon come off the bench.
Yeah, look, you know, we can speculate on who should and shouldn't do, but at the end of the day, you know, the coaches had a lot more experience at picking teams than that.
Look, they do, and we're going to be critical from time to time, and that's the job that they do. But sometimes what we're critical of, they come and turn around to us and say, "See, I know better." And a lot of people questioning Tyrone Munro getting dropped and putting Bailey Bentley Harper in front of him, and speed wise, you think yes, well, speed wise, you want Tyrone Munro there, but some of his defensive efforts, some of his efforts under the high ball, he's just a player not playing with much confidence at the moment in those sort of scenarios. And I think that's where Bailey has it ahead of him at the moment. No doubt he'll be probably playing again next. I don't think he played New South Wales Cup today. He was 18th man.
He was 18th man, yeah.
So he didn't get to play there, but hopefully he gets a couple of games because that's the one thing I thought he lacked when he came back from injuries. He was rushed back in through necessity. That he'll get that confidence, and once he gets that confidence, we'll see him playing a lot more first grade.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, he's very young at the moment, so he's got a lot of time and it won't be too long in the future either before he's like a regular first grader, I feel. You know, once his body matures a bit more, you know, his speed's just invaluable, you know. Like, we could do with more speed.
Yeah, true. But yeah, well, we did win 20 points to 18, and as I said, it ended that 9-game losing streak, and the boys got to celebrate afterwards, as did we. We got to sing our victory song for the first time in a while underneath the Southern Cross, and I think a few people forgot the words for a bit. I noticed Cody got a bit muddled up there the first time, but for you guys at home, it's a song we after every victory we sing. Kieran Hennessy was the one that came up to it back in the day. That was for the singers, and when there was a bit of a split with the Burrow on the singers' end, and we transformed it into the Burrow and made this victory song. And the words are, underneath the Southern Cross we stand, 21 premierships in our hand, tradition, pride, red and green, South Sydney, you fucking beauty. So that's what we sing. And if you've ever been at the game and seen us in a huddle just yelling something out, that's what we're yelling anyway. And it's a great tradition, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And, you know, if there's anyone out there who sort of hasn't, like, you know, partaken in it, like, yeah, just come over and join in. It's wonderful when you start, you know, when everyone's in there and singing it because you know you've won, and yeah, just come and join in.
Yeah, it was great seeing a lot of the boys, all the lads up there come and they join in with us, seeing Mitch and Tyler and a few of the others there. That met a few of the guys that watch the podcast. So shout out to you guys. I've forgotten your name. It's been a long day, but we do appreciate you guys coming up and saying hello to us. We do appreciate you guys watching. You know, make sure you do like and subscribe. We really do love putting these things out there for you. But anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, just everybody, really. Like anybody who came and supported the team, like, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, you know.
Well, what about a heavy pregnant Joe, that's had to walk up those stairs. You can look at the fan reaction video. We got her on there after the game to get her reactions, but up and down those stairs a few times, she was struggling a bit.
Yeah,
I thought for a while there she was going to go into labour there, stressing out at the end. But next time she goes to a game, she'll have little bubs there, and he'll be joining us into a game. So shout out to you, Joe, and we wish you all the best in the remainder of your pregnancy, and can't wait to meet him.
yeah, definitely. And the heat probably didn't help either. It was very hot,
Yeah.
especially being pregnant, I guess.
I want to also give a shout out to a few former players that I caught up with after the game there in Isaac Luke, Eddie Pettyborn, and Fatuli Talanoa. It's great to see you guys there. And Bully there had his Brandon Smith jersey on, but he had his South City cap on, and I've got so much time for Bully, and he even said to me he'll come on the podcast, so I'm going to get him on the podcast one day and have a bit of an interview with him. I've also got Joey Wills wants to come on and do the podcast. I think with Joey, I'm going to wait until AJ breaks the record and have him on then when AJ breaks the record.
Yeah, look, it is great to see these guys, and like Bully, even though he left South, he's always been like a supporter of all what South have been doing.
Well, it's funny. He says, and he's always tweeted it. He goes, always and always will be SSTID. He's South Sydney to the bone, and you don't have to be a South junior to be South Sydney to the bone. This guy just loves the club, loves everything about it. I remember how many times have we been over there when he was playing for the Warriors. At the end of the game, he'd come over to us, give us a hug, say hello, always respectful of the fans, and he loves the fans. And of course, he presented Brandon Smith with his jersey for his 150th game.
Yeah, you say like he loves the fans and that, and we love Bully. We all love him because he's just a great bloke.
Well, it's a testament
from being a good footballer.
It's a testament to a player that leaves your club and plays elsewhere, and the fans just still love him and adore him. We've got a few players like that. Jason Clark, one of my favourite players. Honestly, one of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet, Jason. I listened to a podcast the other day, Greg Inglis with Josh Mansour, and on Josh Mansour's podcast, and Josh asked Greg who was the player he loved the most at South, and it was Jason Clark. And of course, Jason was the one that got him over to Warrington.
Yeah, look, Clark is just a terrific bloke, and it's funny. Like he used to always be packing up stuff after training, and that he's just a great club.
Yeah. Well, he's now there as the manager of the players, or what's his role? And I don't know the exact name of it, but yeah, he's there looking after all the players, and you couldn't get a better guy doing that job.
Oh, definitely. When he was playing, he never strayed. When he's there, he was always first at training and trained hard. Yeah, just never off field. He was terrific as well. So you couldn't want for a better person to look after the younger guys.
Yeah, well, one thing Bully mentioned is that we may have another Luke playing for us shortly, and not necessarily the Sun. So keep an eye out for that. There's we may see another Luke down playing in South Sydney colours soon enough. So that'll be great. But I've got no doubt he'd love for his son to play for us as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, haven't seen much of him play, obviously, or the daughter, but yeah, if they're anything like their dad, they'll be great players.
So isn't it funny you see a guy get a milestone, and you usually get excited for a week. That's funny seeing a guy we're celebrating having 150 games, and that was just his second game in our colours.
Yeah, it's hard to, he's played so many games for Melbourne, and But hey, if he keeps playing for us, we're going to keep supporting him.
What I loved is, let's think about that for a second. That was his second game for us. That was only his second game for us there today. And look at the combinations he's already starting to develop. Imagine that, a full off season. He hasn't had a full off season either. He's only just come into the club recently and played 2 games and hit the ground running. Imagine what it would be like after an off season of what he can do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I look forward to seeing that, after a full off season and, you getting a bit fitter and that. I think he'll be just absolutely amazing for us. His passion that he shows, it's just second to none, really. Like,
Yeah, well, I think he can get himself in a bit of trouble. He's a bit of a cheeky character, but we've seen him there in the crowd. Like he was the last one off the field. He was up in the crowd because he obviously went to catch up with Bully and the boys up there to see him. And he was last, but yeah, he certainly is a cheeky character. And the story going around, I don't know what happened, but being questioned by police and one of the questions in the press conference saying Wayne Bennett was, what was it? It was something about asking, oh, you're a police officer. One stage, Wayne, did you question him? He goes, I did.
One thing about Wayne is he knows how to play the press very well.
Oh, how good is his press conference? So, it was something that we've just really missed. I mean, no one can do a press conference like him, can they?
No, they can say so much without saying anything much at all, but just the way he answers them and that and gets his point across, it's amazing.
Oh, I know. I've spoken to chaps, and he's interviewed he's been there at the press conferences a few times, and he's told me how scared he is sometimes to even ask questions. He was like, oh, sometimes he's just in awe. He says, I'm just in awe of him, and I'm like, oh no, what's he going to get from me here? And if I muddle this up, he's just going to attack me. I mean, I've seen it with Paul Mabo as well, where Mabo is just being like trying to ask him these questions, and then kind of like just trying to put him in his face. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be doing that, asking him questions.
No, if you ask the wrong questions, mate. And like I say, he doesn't actually say much, but he gets his point across. Everyone knows exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah, well, early morning fly back tomorrow. By the time you guys see this, we'll hopefully be home safely. But yeah, it's been a great weekend and made even better by the win up here on the Gold Coast. Really do appreciate you guys watching. Please tell us out there what was your favourite part of today. Who was the best player? Who did you feel was our best player today? And who do you think was our best today?
Oh, look, I think Lattrell was our best player. The try savers, the try assists. Yeah, I don't think you can ask much more of the guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was certainly up there. I thought Brandon Smith was up there too. I thought Jai Arrow was another one up there. There was certainly there was a very good team effort as well. And it kind of reminded me, this game kind of reminded me about early season, even though we were getting dominated in the forwards. We kept hanging in there, and held on when we needed to. So kudos to you boys out there. We are very proud of the efforts that you're putting in. And hopefully we can, this is the win that kind of gives you guys a bit more confidence to maybe get a couple. We'll finish the season with a couple more wins, but I'll be doing the podcast later this week once the team's dropped, and we'll do a review of the a preview of the game at Allianz next week. I'm not sure of the exact day we'll be in, but I'll have that information for you next time. But we've got something very special planned, so we really do need a big crowd out there. But that's all I'll say about that now. But tell us your thoughts on the game. Give us, come and see us at the game. If you see us at the game, come and say hello. We really do love hearing that you guys are watching this and enjoying it. So, anything else you want to add, Mick?
Just to the viewers, keep watching, keep supporting the team, and hopefully we get to see AJ break the record this year.
I hope it would have been Indigenous around 4 tries.
That would be great. But even if it's, like our last home game, that would be great too. Like, just to see.
Yeah, well, anyway, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm your host, Josh, joined by Mick. Go the Rabbitohs.
Go the Bunnies.